Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Friday Night Frenzy, the show the players watch. I'm Sam Ali.
Imagine playing the game of football in total silence. All the sights are there, but none of the sounds. That's the case for the Michigan School for the Deaf.
So at the end of the day, this will be an experience the players will never forget because... So the 2017 Packers Family Night was a rounding success for two reasons. Number one, nobody got hurt, and number two, everyone had fun. History was on the line at the Breslin Center on Saturday as the North Central Jets tried to make it back-to-back state titles in Class D. Norway's Connor Ortman is one of the best basketball players in the entire UP. This past season, he was an All-UP and All-Conference first-team selection. What makes all this more impressive is that he was born deaf in both ears. He was diagnosed at 2 years old and has to wear a cochlear implant during games. Despite that, Ortman will now be representing his city, his state, and his country at a special basketball tournament overseas. Now, this is definitely an outside-the-box hire for NMU, as Potulny has no ties to the Upper Peninsula or the state of Michigan, and that might be a much-needed breath of fresh air for the Wildcats hockey program.
Imagine playing the game of football in total silence. All the sights are there, but none of the sounds. That's the case for the Michigan School for the Deaf, as they made a 5.5-hour drive from downstate Flint to Eben Junction for a special football scrimmage between the Cougars and the Tartars.
This was a team that we came out against. We weren't sure how the game would go last year. It ended up being an extremely positive experience. So the idea of them coming up and doing a combined practice with us today and a little bit of scrimmaging really made our guys feel like there was an opportunity to give back, since they had come here and played us on an open week last year.
The Cougars were helped by Superior Central graduate Alex Freeberg, who is fluent in American Sign Language, but there were still some things that the players were curious about.
How they snapped the football. I was kind of interested in how they did that. It's really interesting to see them, how they do their snap counts and stuff like that. It's just mind-boggling to me that how they can run an offense. It's pretty cool, actually.
The teams were very competitive on the field and held nothing back in an effort to get ready for the upcoming season.
It was a lot of fun. I made really good friends with most of these players. I got to talk with a lot of them. They're all really cool. I think it's just a great experience for everybody out here to help them get better, help us get better. And just it's a great bonding moment for everybody.
When it comes to throwing on the pads and a helmet, we all become equal and we all become one. And our guys are showing that today. Completely different people from completely different backgrounds, and you couldn't tell out there at that combined practice today.
So at the end of the day, this will be an experience the players will never forget because
63,156. That's how many fans showed up to see a training camp practice for the Green Bay Packers.
It was a cool atmosphere. Even though it was a rain delay, I didn't expect that many people to be here, but it was fun. Fans here are very loyal, as we can see, but it was a cool experience, just to be out there on the field and kind of get a first little I guess get used to the field before you go out there for that first preseason game, so it was cool.
Yeah, it's definitely good to see everyone in the stadium. Obviously it was raining and not great weather, but eventually got filled up, and for the young guys this is the first time they get to play in front of a crowd, so that's always a good experience for them.
It was an especially eye-opening experience for rookie cornerback Kevin King.
I seen a couple of 20 jerseys. I was looking, so it's definitely good. To go out there, kind of get a dress rehearsal for things. First time under the lights at Lambeau, with the people actually there, so it felt good.
And at the end of the night, there was a spectacular fireworks show to cap off the event.
A recent study conducted by the NCAA says that just 1.5% of college football players make it to the National Football League. Some would look at those numbers and become discouraged, while others take the challenge on for a chance to chase their dreams.
Score! Marcus Tucker!
Last year, after a prolific career at Northern Michigan, wide receiver Marcus Tucker was signed by the Pittsburgh Steelers as he spent most of the season on the team's practice squad. The team signed him to a futures contract in January, and now he's back in town, getting ready for the upcoming NFL season.
I love the community here, man. I love the people. I love the whole atmosphere and the vibe of Marquette. The people are awesome. I'm still very close with a lot of teammates that I played with past, and some are still on the team. So it's just a blessing that I was able to come to a school where I can make lifelong connections.
Welcome back to Friday Night Frenzy, presented by the Venice Pub and Pizzeria of Ishpeming. Tonight, the Barry Event Center went a little old school as the NMU hockey team played a non-conference contest against a team at one time played the Cats in the old WCHA. Adi Tolvanen was in net as the boys welcomed the Bulldogs of Minnesota Duluth to town. Late in the second, the Cats looked to tie it up. Chaos in front of the UMD goal. Robbie Payne with the equalizer. The game was tied 2-2 after 2. Early in the third now, NMU turns it over and Duluth makes them pay. Andy Walensky beats Tolvanen between the wickets for a 3-2 lead. After Brock Maschmeyer tied it up for NMU, the Cats were on the power play. John Seamer to Cohen Adair, no, but there once again is Robbie Payne to finish the job. Northern Michigan wins it 4-3. The Cats and Dogs will play one more time at the Barry Event Center tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Matt Stafford and the Lions taking on the Vikings. Closing seconds of the first half, Stafford finds Anquan Bolden for the 1-yard TD pass. Detroit would go up 10-3 at halftime. Less than 30 seconds to go in the game. Vikings down 4. Rhett Ellison on third down at the 1 punches it in. Replay shows he breaks the plane before the ball pops out. Minnesota takes the lead, but the Lions find a way to get into field goal range, and then Matt Prater from 58 yards out to send this game into overtime. It's good, and we are tied at 16. Opening drive for the Lions, 3rd and 8 inside the Vikings 30-yard line. Stafford to the sideline, finds Golden Tate, and a few missed tackles later, Tate would find the end zone. Take a look as Xavier Rhodes completely whiffs as Tate tiptoes to stay inbounds. Harrison Smith can't bring him down, and the rest, they say, is history. The Lions stun the Vikings 22-16 as Detroit sits just half a game behind first place in the division.